a soft porn.
Okay.
And I was like...
Wasn't expecting that.
And I was like, you're half naked in the video. Okay, great. You know, hey.
Yeah.
Perfect. Good for you.
I have to give something to the ladies.
Yeah. What's up, guys? It's DJ K Young, and today I'm sitting down with DJ Paimon to talk about his new project, Soul De Selene. So what's your favorite?
I knew you were gonna ask that.
What's your favorite?
It's so hard. That's so hard.
What's the one that's like, oh man?
Right now, I Miss the Lies.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Right now, when I listen to I Miss the Lies,
Your feels a little.
No, I just sonically.
Oh, okay. So it's more the technical aspect. You like that's your.
It just hits the best. I feel like but Easy Rider probably be my other favorite.
Yeah.
Just because when I listen to music voluntarily, not when I'm DJing. When I listen to music on my own, it's mostly in the car, right?
Yeah.
So the rider type records, the songs that you kick back and drive to, those are my favorite.
The ones that you can kind of like almost mentally get lost in.
Exactly.
Because that's how I feel that that's how I felt about this whole project. It was that I'm like, oh, I could just drive, I would just zone out and just, kind of just ride with this. You know, other than your previous albums, I'm
exactly.
And,
turn it up,
and this one is more. Again, it goes back to like, wow.
Yeah.
This isn't DJ Paimon that I know. This is
very much not club.
Yeah.
Yeah. The only one I could see playing at the club would be either Thing for You or Selene. Possibly I Miss the Lies, just because that
it's got that kind of
the sing song rappy type thing, which is in, so I could see if there was enough demand for it, then that would be played, but it wouldn't be something that like you would hear in the club and instantly be like, oh, this is a club track. But outside of that, no, it wasn't intended to be in the clubs. It was more intended to catch a vibe to. And so the ones that I would listen to in the car and zone out to the most would probably be I Miss the Lies and Easy Rider. But from the people that I've listen to it, like that previewed it, it's been different for each person. As far as like what's their favorite. Like Thing for You is pretty unanimous as far as like the reaction of the catchiness of the hook. I think it's the hook of Thing for You that like is infectious, like it's stuck in people's heads.
Right.
To even when they're done listening to the album, they're still thinking of that hook. So Thing for You that might be the catchiest one, and that's why I chose that for the lead single. But yeah, I think I Miss the Lies. And the funny thing is, I Miss the Lies, I rewrote and re-recorded it days before I finished the album. Probably like a few days before.
And what was that like?
The hook.
So
the hook, the way I originally had it, it just said I Miss the Lies over and over again.
Okay.
It was just one phrase repeated like
a bunch of times.
16 times, yeah. And initially I liked it that way. Initially I was like, I want to keep it simple. I just want to chant this hook. I want it to be like a chantable hook. But then like after listening to it enough times, I was like, it's just, I'm not doing this song justice by making it just one line.
Right.
It does make the point of what the song's about.
Right, of course.
But let me really write a hook and when I rewrote it, it was 10 times better. And it just made the song that much better to where, it became one of my favorite songs after that rewrite and re-record. So, yeah, that one I rewrote and re-recorded. And the funny thing is, I Miss the Lies, originally the beat for that song was a dance hall, a dance hall beat. And
so it was more upbeat,
it was more intended to be because it is track 4. It was I wanted it to be like more of a progression of like lighter sounds to darker sounds. So I wanted the beat on that one to even be kind of light before I transitioned to the dark songs. But I didn't like the way it sounded when I wrote to it. So then that beat, then TJ and Torian all ended up using for their EP for Waste No Time. So that ended up going to that, and they did it justice just fine. So yeah, so some of the beats that I did initially make for this album that didn't make the cut, I ended up using for other stuff. Yeah. So
the placement of these, which again, like it's just like the little subtle things that you've done as far as the overall creativity, because it's easy to follow everything. And you've placed them in the order that they need to be potentially listened to. I mean, if you wanted to do everything like it was intended to. Yeah. So I mean, everything's been like super methodical.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah.
So
and that was that was the intention of the project of the concept project was, in order to tell a story, there has to be some sort of chronology.
Right.
Like there has to be some sort of like movement, and it has to have an arc. It has to have, a beginning and an ending. It has to have a climax of, it has to have something that you're building up to.
Right.
And then it has to have a resolution at the end, which I felt like Selene was the perfect resolution. It's the song that, because I'm playing on these themes of sunlight and sunset, or sunrise and sunset. And so sunrise being the inception of this love, where, I do say in the project, you're my sunrise, you light up my life, where there was darkness at first, now I'm no longer afraid of the dark. So Selene being the person that gave me that sunlight, that sunrise, as the album progresses to get darker, and as the visual album, as you see the sun, like, it starts to get darker and darker towards the end, it's, the sunset. The very end, not only is it sunset, but the song itself, Selene says, when the sun sets on you,
right?
It's kind of like it's too late at that point.
You're done.
Like it's so it's like, that's kind of the resolution, is me getting over Selene, is me moving on finally from these feelings, from this, from the feelings of anxiety that came from the breakup, from the feelings of, the lack of trust that it caused, from the feeling of relapsing, from the feeling of wanting her back even though she hurt me. All these feelings, the inevitable conclusion is me finally moving on and being like, nah, it's too late. I'm not going back to that.
I'm going to go into the video.
Sure.
It's like a soft porn.
Okay.
And I was like...
Wasn't expecting that.
And I was like, you're half naked in the video. Okay, great. Hey. Yeah. Perfect. Good for you.
I have to give something to the ladies to see.
Yeah. I mean, we were happy.
And to the guys.
That's true.
For Colby.
There you go.
Fitness model.
Yeah.
I feel like I picked a pretty good
you did.
actress for the...
Yeah, she was good.
Yeah.
The whole thing, like, from the technical aspect, perfect, right?
Yeah.
But I'm watching it, and like I said, I was like laying on my couch, kind of, and I'm like, whoa. My dog was like laying, and I like had to cover his little virgin eyes. You know what I mean? I'm like, what? And so, I mean, going back to like the whole of really like letting yourself like be exposed. I mean, really, I'm talking metaphorically and, not like, I was like, oh my gosh, this is like a soft porn. Like, okay, so.
I was PG-13. There's no nudity.
There's no nudity, but I mean like.
There's like, what? It was a love scene involved in the. That
was pretty intense. I mean, for what a.
And that was also intentional. Okay. Obviously, being a love story, to make it authentic.
You made it authentic.
I wanted them to see the passion. I wanted them to see the love. I wanted them to believe it. Was that hard, though?
Because...
To film?
Because, I mean, I'm going from, like, I've done some acting stuff. I know the production side, and when a camera's on you, it's actually easier to do certain things when you got all the cameras, you got all the lights. I can do certain things because I know it's in an actor mentality, but but as a viewer, I'm like, oh my gosh, like
there's people watching.
What are you doing? Like, oh my gosh, like I gotta turn the volume down. Like, what do I have to put a privacy screen? Like, what's going on? But like, was it from your creative side? Like, was it hard for you to basically not only relive all these things because this is a passion project, but also from just like kind of like the technical side, like acting it out. Acting it out. Like,
I've been asked that before actually too.
Because you looked comfortable, so you have to have a good relationship with
Colby.
She's
awesome. She was very easy to work with.
And now, is she an actress?
No, this was her first time acting. This was my first time acting. Too. Yeah, she did a great job. Me and her like knew each other a little bit before we started shooting, but it was still.
I mean, how do you approach?
Still awkward at first.
Yeah, how do you approach somebody and say, "Hey, I'm going to do this project. It's going to be awesome, but I need you half naked. I need you to pretend like you're riding me, that we're in love. I'm going to be half naked." You know what I mean? Like,
so I did give her. Yeah, of course.
Okay.
I let her know what she was getting into. I think maybe she was a little bit surprised at how risque it ended up being, but It was tasteful.
I think it was. Like,
I wasn't gonna.
Overall, yeah.
I wasn't gonna let it be something where it was just like for the sake of being in it. You know, I wanted it to have.
I really felt like, I mean, I watched the video a few times, and every time I really felt like, because it was going to be a question of mine. Are you guys dating?
No,
I mean, because it was so. I mean,
because we made it that believable,
you made
right?
it that believable and that authentic, or like, was this an ex-girlfriend, or like, what was it a fling? You know, who is this person playing your girlfriend? Because it was so natural. Yeah, and it was believable, and I'm like, wait, maybe they are dating. I don't know.
No, we strictly professional.
That's cool.
Relationship,
That's really good.
But I think because we were comfortable with each other as friends going into it, and then also, you know, she's an attractive girl, so it's that much easier to
pretty,
you know,
sure.
And so I think that was another thing. But I think the awkwardness ended as soon as we actually started the scene. Right. I think it was the anticipation of, all right, how do we do this? Yeah, like how do we make this look real and like all that, like all the. I'm about to make out with this person on camera in front of like 5 other people.
Tongue action.
Yeah, in front of like 5 other people. So like I think all of that tension finally went away once we finally started the scene, and then it was just like, oh, I'm just kissing this person. Yeah, done that a million times before. You know, like you know, like so.
I don't think people understand that part though. Is like, I mean, when somebody says action, or when you're filming, like. There's a blanket that kind of just, I don't know, like I always say like a blanket kind of just like falls over me, and I get into a weird like mental state of just like, oh, there's a camera, it's on, we're filming, we're doing business type stuff. I don't care what we're doing. Right. I'm doing a job.
I think fortunately for me, I was playing myself. Yeah. I was acting as myself. So it wasn't like I had to get into a different character. Sure. So that made it easy for me to just be myself. Right. And then as far as Colby, she did a great job of playing a character. So kudos to her. Yeah. But as far as the love scene, I think it's just like you just place yourself in a position of, all right, how would I do this if this was my girlfriend or if this was the girl that I cared for like that?
Was TJ a little nervous? That was TJ at the end?
Yeah, yeah.
Was he nervous?
Yes. And that was...
I mean, it's a split second. I mean, it's not a very long, you know, cameo that he has.
Yeah,
but
that was...
I was like, I know TJ.
And that was his first time doing it.
I was going to say, I was like, I know TJ. Like,
yeah. And that's actually hilarious because finding the actor to play the other guy was the hardest thing I've ever had to do.
Really?
Because it had to be first priority was it had to be someone that Colby would be comfortable with playing that scene with.
And two, probably single, because no girlfriend in her right mind would allow her man to be pretended to be
correct. But you'll be surprised at how many guys that we pitched to play that role just chickened out.
Really?
We're too nervous, too scared to play that scene on camera with Colby.
But she was okay with it.
Yeah, because I actually threw the ball in her court. I'm like, give me a list of guys that you would think, you know, you'd be comfortable playing this scene with, and that would be down, and then we'll reach out to them and see if they'd be down. And so she came up with some possible, you know, potential people, and they all flaked. Really? Like some accepted it. They're like, yeah, sure, and then like they're like, and then they flaked or just didn't respond. You know, like so we literally had to it was like.
So how did you coerce TJ into doing that?
I just told him like, look, man, I need you. I need you for this scene.
Oh
this is make or break for the film. Like I can't not have this.
He's
scene.
like, I need 14 free beats for this. Paimon.
I mean, I didn't think I would like. Here's the thing. It's like, yo, bro, I really need you to make out with this hot chick. Right. Yeah. And she's gonna be on top.
And she's gonna be on top of you. And she's gonna literally look like.
The only thing that's gonna suck is it's gonna be on camera and a bunch of people are gonna see it. But. You know,
was there a lot of giggling? I could see it.
Honestly, all the love scenes, whether it was me and her or like her and TJ on that day, there's so many I think I'm gonna release some outtakes.
Yeah, you
there was just so many hilarious moments because you're in that scene and it's like it's hard to you know.
I'd start laughing.
Yeah, it's hard not to it's hard to stay in that serious when it's not serious.
Right.
When you know it's a scene, it's hard to and we just had so many inside jokes like that. We were just this like ongoing funny joke of like, because you know Sid's had this girlfriend for years, so then like he would, as the director, he would try to direct us the way that he wanted the love scene to look, and then me and Colby just kept like jokingly be like, "Yo, that's some soft relationship shit, man. Like, we want this shit to look sexy. Like, who has relationship sex? Like, we want this to look, you know, like, so, like, this, like, joke of, like, relationship sex versus, like, raunchy sex, like, became this, like, ongoing inside joke. And then, like, to the point where, like, we would just be like, Sid, enough with the horrible relationship,
we'll do it.
cringe relationship stuff. And so, but yeah, like, there was just tons of, like, outtakes of, like, us just fucking up and, like, it not, you know, looking as good as it did. So I think I will put out
you should. That'd be
some
hilarious.
of the extra footage, the outtake footage. I don't want this to be a project that it's a one and done. I want this to be that type of album where like 5 years from now you'll be able to listen to it
again.
And you know, still relate. I don't want to just be the guy that like is like, yeah, I sang and rapped on these records because it needed vocals.
Right.
It's like, no, read the lyrics.
Right.